What's up, everyone? It looks like the situation between Caitlin Clark and that Connecticut Sun fan has finally been leaked, and none other than Teresa Weatherspoon is the latest coach to lose her job. Guys, we've got a lot to cover in this one, so let's get straight into it.
Yo, you already know, this video right here is about to be one of them ones, fam. Because a lot has gone down in the last 24 hours. And trust me, we're showing all the footage, breaking it down step by step. You don't want to miss this. Let's get into it. Caitlin Clark fever might be cooling off for now with her sitting at home, getting ready for next season. But let me tell you, there's still plenty of drama and headlines surrounding her, even though she's not even playing in the league right now. The season's over, but we've got WNBA players, veterans, and just about everyone connected to this league blaming Caitlin Clark's fan base for the hate a lot of these players have been getting. But hold up, there's no way you can single-handedly blame Caitlin Clark's fan base for that. Did y'all not see what just went down at the Connecticut Sun game? It wasn't just any fan calling out Caitlin Clark. It was someone with media credentials. Your channel, The Facts Drone, even tried to get media credentials for the WNBA, and they straight up told me, hell to the nah. So there's a lot more to unpack here. But y'all give this guy media credentials, and he's out here harassing Caitlin Clark on the sideline? This whole league is getting ridiculous. Well, it looks like someone who was actually at the game, sitting a row or two behind this dude, leaked the whole thing online last night. Viva X. Now let's go ahead and recap exactly what went down at the Connecticut Sun game. Let's see the picture.
They corral the defensive board. They're getting it and going.
Caitlin Clark, sorry to interrupt, Rebecca, getting into it with a fan who she was going back and forth with in the front row and pointing it out to the officials. And now the officials calling on security to take a look. As Clark and Bonner have a conversation now too, and they're going at it.
What is happening here?
A lot of activity early in this game.
There sure is.
And now security is going to have a conversation with that gentleman.
Now that was the incident that went down at the Connecticut Sun game between Caitlin Clark and the fan. But just like I said, more information is starting to come out about exactly what was said to Caitlin Clark. So let's go ahead and pull up some of these tweets and see what people are saying. He didn't just call her a C*******. He also said he hopes she falls and breaks her neck, among other things. Then he got to go back to his seat, then bragged about it to other Suns fans around. I sat behind them. More people who were actually at the game have started to come forward as well. Even one fan stated, "Look, the guy told a Fever reporter that he was kind of embarrassed by the whole thing because he said, he just told her to quit whining. WTF. Now, we don't know if we believe that, but hey, it is what it is. I can't say for sure if all of this information is true, so for now, I've got to say it's all alleged. The guy who got removed from the game hasn't even spoken on the situation yet. What we do know is that he had media credentials around his neck. But right now, we don't know if he still has them. Man, this is a tough time for the WNBA. I feel like they're not equipped to handle everything that's about to go down in this league. And speaking of that,
the Sun have been locked in, professional, and taking care of business. What does it say to the professionality of this team that you've been able to shut out the noise?
Honestly, it's been a lot of nonsense. I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the indianafever fan base. We had her face on a serious matter that happened in this world, and it's unacceptable, honestly. And there's no place for it, and we've been professional throughout the whole entire thing, but I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it. And basketball is headed in a great direction, but we don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us racial names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world and what we have to deal with in that aspect. And we come to play basketball for our job, and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's, them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time for it anymore. I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it. And basketball is headed in a great direction, but nah, we don't want fans that are going to degrade us and call us racial names. I mean, we already see what's happening in the world and what we have to deal with in that aspect. And we come to play basketball for our job, and it's fun, but we don't want to go to work every day and have social media blown up over things like that. It's uncalled for, and something needs to be done, whether it's them checking their fans or this league checking. There's no time for it anymore.
That was Angel Reese retweeting what Alyssa Thomas said to the press the other day. And speaking of Angel Reese, guys, her coach was fired late last night, and it completely broke the internet. We have to dive into it right now. So, Angel Reese actually broke the story way before the media even got a hold of it. She put out this tweet right before the news dropped that Teresa Weatherspoon was officially fired from the Chicago Sky. Now she stated, "I'm heartbroken. I'm literally lost for words. Knowing what this woman meant to me in such a pivotal point in my life. She was the only person that believed in me, the one that trusted me. Many don't even know what it's like to be a black woman in sports when nobody believes in you. You had a tough job. All the crazy circumstances that we went through this year, and when your back was against the wall, you always believed. I came to Chicago because of you. You were an unsung hero in my life. We built a relationship in a short amount of time that will last forever. I'll never question God why He brings people in my life and takes them away from me in the capacity that I need them, but I've always believed everyone is in your life for a reason and a season. You were the best reason and season. You didn't deserve this, but I can't thank you enough. I love you, Spoon." It looks like Angel Reese is not taking the news well that her head coach just lost her job. The way she's coming out,
many
it's like,
times this entire
bump all
season
this,
is,
we're trying to win.
one thing that I'm
Caitlin
super
Clark
proud
and
of
them
with
are
this
heading to the
team
playoffs, and we're
is
over
how
here starting
competitive they are
drama, looking
and how
like
hard they
fools on the
continue to
internet.
play,
Angel's making it
each and every
clear
night.
it's time for a change,
That
and that's
was a
exactly
big
how she
piece,
feels
no matter
right
what
now.
we went through.
Speaking of that, we've got Rachel Demeta actually weighing in on Caitlin Clark's fans and how they're setting the tone. This is a perfect transition for the next phase of our video, so let's roll the footage.
There are still certain people within the WNBA who want the league to grow, but they don't want it to grow if it's certain people at the face. And there is still this undertone of jealousy that for some reason I cannot get around calling it anything else but that, because I don't know what else it could be. I thought it was going to get better this season, but it hasn't. There are still people who seemingly, to me, feel like they just don't want Caitlin to be a part of it. Because with Caitlin comes millions and millions and millions of more eyeballs. And with those millions and millions and millions of more eyeballs, unfortunately, is going to come some people who are not nice. But I'm going to push back just a little bit, because I wonder if Caitlin, in every post-game press conference and every interview that she did with reporters and anytime she did any media, if she came out and talked about the kind of hateful comments that she was getting, the death threats that she was getting, the stalking allegations that she was getting, if she came out and told everybody the reason why she has personal security that goes with her every single place, it's a lot. And so it's not just Caitlin Clark fans or Indiana Fever fans. It is not all going in one direction. There are Sky fans, I'm going to say fans because I don't know if they're fans or if they're trolls, who live online just waiting for somebody to say something about Caitlin or say something about the Indiana Fever, and they go after them. And another time that I'm going to bring up once again, because I think it's just such a blatantly obvious example of a point that if you want to stick up for your fellow WNBA players, this would be the time to do it. And it's the Dearica Hamby situation. And when she played at the Las Vegas Aces again, she was booed every time she touched the ball. That is not something that she could run away from in that moment. She was at her workplace. And yes, getting booed at an away stadium or an away arena is something that happens in sports, and it is something that you have to deal with, and you have to be mentally tough. But she was not getting booed because she did something disrespectful to their organization. She filed a lawsuit that claimed that she was mistreated while she was pregnant, while she was in one of her most vulnerable states, that she was mistreated by that organization. She won championships with that organization. And that organization's fans, and I am going to call them fans because they bought tickets to go into the arena. In that instance, they booed her every time she touched the ball. She came out in a podcast and said that she fought back tears that entire game. That is an instance, if you want to come out and talk about bullying and talk about hate being spread and talk about toxic fan bases, why wasn't that instance brought up? A lot of these...
That was Rachel Demeta talking about Caitlin Clark's fan base. And it's wild how many WNBA veterans are now blaming Caitlin Clark's fans for all the hate currently going on in this league. At the end of the day, y'all have been doing a lot of weird stuff for years. It's finally time for you to hold your heads up and take responsibility for all the mess you've contributed to in the WNBA. Don't be mad because the rabbit has the gun now. With all that being said, none other than Britney Griner has actually weighed in on this whole situation.
Quick action instead of kind of delaying it, like
what they said, quick action, not waiting to put out a statement that is way overdue. There's definitely things that you can do on social media. I do it on my page where you can, limit some of the things that are seen. You can put in keywords that, will, when someone puts in a comment that should not be on the page, because it doesn't reflect what we stand for, what we are as a league, but it's just all up and down the W page, removing those. But I get it, It's all about likes, it's all about the number of comments, no matter how good or bad those comments or likes are. I don't think it's right, but just being swift with it, making a statement, making a stand. Fans that come to games and they want to show out in the wrong way, they don't need to be in. They don't need to be in there, and that should be around for everybody, not just certain arenas for certain players. Like, it needs to be upheld for everybody, because we all deserve to play in a safe environment. Like, I deserve to be here and play and not have to worry about racial and just sexist comments.